What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Vandybeck Prophecy. I'm Rodney.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are your hosts today. This is our first episode. We hope to have guests on in future episodes and everything. But for now, it's just going to be the two of us here in our cozy little room.
Well, my cozy little room.
Fuck you. Our cozy little room.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you could say that. But yeah, no, definitely the plan long term is for us to have guests on. But at least in the meantime, it's just going to be us entertaining.
Yeah, and just for anyone watching, it's a little awkward for us to some degree because we normally, when we've done this in the past, we've had 3 people. So it's strange. And normally I'm sitting across from Ryan, not next to him.
Yeah, normally he's not able to touch my face.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
From where we're sitting. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, this is the first time we're ever going to actually be recording our faces while talking into microphones.
Yeah.
And I just want to go ahead and preface it by saying I am not a woman. I am a man. I do have long hair, and I have absolutely no facial hair. That is a choice, however. I shaved this morning, so... bald as a baby.
Baby-faced.
Mm-hmm.
I, on the other hand, look like a fucking lumberjack. But I sound like a child sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't help that.
Yeah, no. But, no, we're definitely very interesting people.
We think so.
Well, yeah, we like to think so. That's actually, I mean, hell, the only reason why we have a fucking podcast is because... we think that we're fucking interesting.
And we like to talk a fucking lot, as you'll come to know.
Yeah, we have no shortage of conversational topics. And on top of that, just to kind of go ahead and get it out there too, I cuss like a sailor.
So
I don't know if that's going to bother anybody, but I hope that it doesn't.
The show's not aimed at kids.
No.
But if your parents let you watch it, well then, that's not our fault.
Yeah, and, kind of go ahead and put a 18 or older disclaimer on there right now.
To some degree. At least
PG-13.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to try and watch it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, keep it to a minimum. But just kind of to go in a little bit about at least myself, just to kind of get to know me a little bit. I'm 22. Not incredibly old.
No, we're children. We're children. For real.
Yeah, in that we're definitely young, but we do have very interesting situations. I sling mattresses for a living, not literally but metaphorically. I sell mattresses. Oh God, don't you hate when you have to fucking swallow when you're in the middle of talking? Literally the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen. God. Anyway, yeah, I sell mattresses. Pretty good at it. At least I like to assume I am. Other than that, I'm a heart surgery recovery, I guess.
Survivor.
Yeah, there you go.
Your doctor didn't kill you?
Fair enough. Yeah. No, it's a definite bonus. I've lost a shitload of weight.
Yeah, what did you used to weigh?
268 pounds.
And you were what, like, you were over 200 the entire time you were in high school?
Yeah, at a minimum. I mean, I might have been under 200 freshman year, but for the most part, all of high school, I was pretty much over 200.
Always bigger than me, needless to say. I'm
100%.
I'm like 190, maybe 191, 189, something like that.
You've only ever barely cracked 200 a few times, maybe.
Every time I've gone over 200, I've come back down. But needless to say, you've never weighed less than me until recently.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've always been the big out of shape guy.
Yeah.
Now in high school, that was part because of my heart problem, but after that, it was kind of more just a lifestyle choice. Unfortunately, McDonald's is really good, and so is Papa John's, and that fueled me for a little while. But yeah, no, lost a shitload of weight recently. Very heavily into fitness. I like working out. I go to the gym on a very regular basis. I diet. I feel good about myself to an extent.
That's good. You know, you're the reason why I started going to the gym recently. I've pretty much always been in shape to some degree, but I've smoked very heavily for a long time. And I've been quit with cigarettes for probably about a year and a half now, maybe almost 2 years.
That's good.
And I'm 22 as well, and I smoked for, if I'm being honest, probably since I was 13, maybe 14. And yeah, you know, so I've never been in perfect shape, but I played soccer for 16 years. I was an athlete to some degree. So when I found out that he lost so much weight so fast, I decided to hire his personal trainer to get me and my girlfriend back in shape, because we miss being back in that athletic shape. She used to be a tennis player.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off of that, you know, we have our own share of mental problems.
Mm-hmm. I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're kind of a little batshit. I mean, I have my fair share, you know, but I think you definitely have the
short end of the stick.
You definitely have the short end of the stick, at least in comparison.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You've come to terms with it. You've
Yeah,
accepted it at this point.
I don't dwindle on it, and I don't let it all. I don't let it define me. That's what I was looking for. I don't let it define me, because there's a lot of people out there that are a lot worse off than me, and when I really look at it, I don't look at it as anything, you know, because it's something that, yeah, I had to overcome and was hard for me, but there's a lot of other people that have had to do a lot worse than I have, and have had a lot worse outcomes than I had when trying to get through it, i.e. drugs and alcohol and all that other bull crap. I've had my fair share of that, but there's a lot worse off than I am. So I don't like to dwindle on it, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, a good philosophy to live life if you're ever feeling down is, remember, there's always going to be people out there that have a worse situation than you do. But kind of to get off of, you know, that fucking
let's get on to some
topic.
Funny shit, because that's the point of this podcast.
So kind of getting into why we even want to have a podcast in the beginning. Again, we think we're pretty funny. You know, we think we have pretty interesting conversations, and we like to fucking talk. Yeah, we're maybe not cocky, pompous.
A little bit.
Is a slightly better
take a
word.
look at the name. that might tell you everything about us.
Yeah, no, because the reason why we're calling this a prophecy, as opposed to calling it literally anything else, is because we feel like what we have to say is, I don't know,
pure gold.
I guess pure gold, or unlike anything else you might hear. We have a very, very particular sense of humor. We have very strange things that we find funny.
We have a very particular set of skills.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, we find the dumbest shit funny.
Very funny.
And another big important aspect of this podcast, as well and also with comedy, is also our love and passion for playing video games.
That's right. Yep. Video games, comedy, and fucking anything in between.
And fucking life. You know? All the bullshit that comes in between those two things, those are the most important. You know, I play games. I try to play video games at least once a day at a minimum for at least a few hours. I know you play a lot every single day.
Yeah, just about.
But you obviously have a lot more free time than I do.
Well, not really. I mean, I have 3 days off a week, but I take that time, and yeah, I usually spend that time with video games. But I do take breaks from video games. Like, if I'm playing every day for a week, well, then I'll take 3 or 4 days where I'm just watching TV, hanging out, spending time with people I care about, so that way I'm not fully engulfed in the world of video games 100%, because, you know, that's fantasy and you don't want to be involved in that forever. But yeah, aside from that, that's pretty much all I do. I'm not a professional gamer or anything like that. I don't do esports, but like, I really enjoy playing games. I have a lot of fun doing that, and occasionally some people like to watch me play games.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a proponent of that. So I'm one of those kind of people where my favorite type of game to play is, I love strategy games more than anything. And strategy games is such a broad genre, you know, because when people think strategy game, they think something like fucking Tetris or You know, there's a very generalized way people look at strategy. When I look at strategy, I look at games that are not as simple as pick up the controller and just play mindlessly.
Yeah.
Games that require tact. That to be successful at, you have to actually put thought and
like
meaning
the old
behind
school
your
games,
actions.
like Portal and all those fucking those amazing games.
Yeah,
you know?
and I will even take it a step even further. I you know, also talking like about Apex, because that's a game I'm very heavily into at the current moment. But
I'm not too into it.
I understand that you're not that into it, but needless to say, it's a strategy game nonetheless. It is a game that you don't just boot up and load into anywhere, because it is a battle royale, and I'm normally not a fan of battle royales, but this kind of game, you know, you if you drop and just kind of mindlessly meander around, you'll never be successful. But this is a game where you have to build up a plan, you have to get a strategy, have a good team, all about positioning, putting yourself in good
Warzone's the
spots.
same way. I played lots of Warzone. I haven't played anything battle royale-esque lately. I've been playing a lot of Death Stranding because I like that chill.
I played that.
Yeah, I know you did. You're the reason why I'm playing it. But I play that. I like to play lately. I like to play the chill, you know, long thought process type games, you know, where the story isn't just fed to you. You got to work for the story, you know, and then as you work for the story, you end up with a sense of accomplishment. Even if you don't finish it, you feel like you're accomplishing things as you're going, and that's kind of what I'm into right now. But on the topic of Apex and Battle Royales, Warzone is one that I played a lot of, you know, and I just recently played the new live event for the next COD game, whatever. And
what is it, Call of Duty Cold War?
Cold War, yeah. It was really fun. You get a sniper of some kind. I don't remember exactly. You get a sniper blueprint. But yeah, that was really fun. And Warzone takes lots of strategy, you know, because when you're playing Warzone, as you do with any COD game, there's sets of rules in anything that's already been set in place because it's COD. You know, there's certain things that you do in the settings that haven't really changed from multiplayer to Warzone, and you using those sets of strategies on a bigger scale is how you win. You know, and taking that and applying it to Apex is like a fucking completely different beast.
Yeah, you can't go from Apex to Warzone and expect to be successful, because in Apex, you know, the strategy is completely different. You know, one, you know, there are, like you said, there are rules that are set in place because it's a Call of Duty game, but then there are also rules set in place because it's a battle royale game. But then there's always going to be differing variables. You know, in Apex, you know, your characters have abilities, things that you use to your advantage. In Warzone, you don't have abilities.
You don't have those fucking abilities.
You don't have those abilities.
You have that one-time use thing that takes forever to reload, and it's stupid.
But also in Warzone, you can change your loadout mid-game when you get a certain amount of buy-in or certain amount of points or money. And you can change your loadout, whereas in Apex, you know, if you don't fucking find it, you don't get it.
Yeah, you're screwed. You end up having to use that stupid little, what is it? Was that the...
P2020?
No, the handgun. The one that no one liked. It was basically
Mozambique?
the Mozambique. I mean, now it's not too bad, but when
It's
Apex
still
first
pretty
came
bad.
out...
It's still pretty bad. There's not a whole lot you can do to that gun to actually make it good.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
terrible.
I mean? It's not great. And that's the thing about the game. It's pretty well balanced. And I think that's the reason why I like it is because of how fast-paced it is. I love just slide wall jumping and flipping all over the place.
Yeah.
And obviously, I love the game. I'm level like 500.
Just after Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, I'm just ready. I've been ready, and like, you know, they've already been doing it for a couple of years. But the ground war, that's what COD needed to come back to. They did it for a while, and now I might be ready, maybe, to go back to the jumping around, fucking double jump bullshit, sliding on walls and everything, but they got to implement it correctly.
See, my thing is that, you know, they introduced that wall jumping jetpack bullshit in Advanced Warfare, and I remember,
bad.
and I played it, and I played the shit out of Advanced Warfare, and I remember the game just didn't feel like a Call of Duty.
It didn't. No,
it felt like it was just.
It wasn't good for a Call of Duty game. It was all right, but it wasn't good for a COD game.
It felt like I was playing one of those duck hunting games.
Or just a rebranding of the exact same bullshit.
Yeah.
With a double jump.
Yeah, and you got people that are flying and dashing all across the fucking air. The maps are all tiny. You know, the concept of using sniper rifles and shit like that. I mean, get that shit out of here. You know, It was just ridiculous. And then, Black Ops 3 came out, which people do still renown as one of the greatest Call of Duties ever made. I wouldn't know. I never played it.
Oh, you're garbage, dude. Black Ops 3 was the best,
That's
man.
what I heard. But my thing is that it was just
2 and
game.
3 were the best.
I
Black Ops 3 wasn't perfect, but...
Okay, okay, look. Black Ops 2, 100%. I did love that game. I played the shit out of it. Zombies, transit, got me.
I'm not going to lie. I own Black Ops 3, and I barely remember it, so I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass. I don't actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I've never played the campaign for Black Ops 3, then now that I think about it. And Black Ops 2, the only reason why it was so good is when they started adding in the DLC zombie maps.
Yeah, so, like I said, Black Ops 2, great game. Never played Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
I kind of lost my faith in Treyarch after they came out with Black Ops 3, and it was just kind of a shot for shot of what Advanced Warfare was, but it was just a little bit different. And then, so I didn't play Black Ops 3. I bought Infinite Warfare, but I didn't want Infinite Warfare. That was part of that time when
I'm pretty sure I convinced you to buy it.
No, you didn't convince me to buy it. It was when Call of Duty 4 Remastered came out. And when I got my PlayStation 3, the first time I ever hooked it up to the internet and played online with people was on Call of Duty 4 when it first came out back in 2007. And that game had a very special place in my heart, and seeing it get remastered was like a dream come true. So, but of course, that was back when they had the super fucking bright idea that the only way to have access to Call of Duty 4 Remastered was you had to buy the Infinite Warfare.
And then they made the bullshit where like fucking almost a year later they made it by itself.
And now they're separate. And that's the thing. And I maybe put 45 minutes grand total into Infinite Warfare.
No, we played lots of zombies.
No, not on Infinite Warfare.
You played zombies with me.
No, not on Infinite Warfare.
Fucking Zombieland. You played with me and Casey.
I don't think so. My cousin. I don't think so.
Oh.
The only thing I didn't even meet your cousin Casey until we played fucking Fortnite together.
Was it?
And we played Fortnite a shitload.
Yeah, I remember. Enough to the point that you hate it and you're never going to touch it again.
Well, it's for 10-year-olds.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm sorry.
I can't fucking so
I can't deal with that shit. Plus the building mechanic, I never got good at it. And I have no desire. I mean, to me personally, it feels like on a console, it's just too difficult. Now with Apex, here's the thing.
Hey, well, hold up. 2 seconds. You have the back paddles on your controller now.
Correct.
So you don't need to play Fortnite on a computer. You can build just as fast. Now, if you had the Scuff, one of those Scuff Pro controllers with the double back paddles, that'd be even easier.
Well, I have a Scuff controller. It's just
Scuff
is fucking bullshit.
Well, didn't yours break?
Within 30 days.
Shouldn't it be under warranty?
Fuck no.
Maybe not now.
No, I called them.
Oh.
Well. Yeah, they told me to promptly and swiftly to fuck off, and I even took it to an electronic shop that works on controllers, and they told me that it was just super fucked, and that it'd be cheaper for me to just buy a new controller.
That's fucking stupid because those are like $250.
Yeah, I think that's easily what I dropped on this fucking remote, and that's what pissed me off because I within 30 days I got so attached.
Because it's a great controller. It just breaks.
It just fucking broke. And here's the thing: it didn't necessarily break because it's one thing if like a paddle broke in half, because you can just replace fucking paddle.
It's the internals.
It was the internals, the hard wiring. The L1 trigger just kept auto firing every fucking time. I wouldn't even touch the button, and it would just start spamming it like 10,000 times a minute. Like it was ridiculous. And playing Apex and Call of Duty, I was just throwing fucking flashbangs every 3 seconds and just dazing myself with thermite grenades. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was ridiculous. So I had to adapt, and I got the paddles attachment for a regular controller. And and here's the thing: when I got those paddles, I inherently became really good at Apex. Like I just noticed my game got so good because I just
want to put on the record that I had been telling Ryan for years to get joystick extenders and paddles for his PlayStation controller. And now we're PlayStation people. He plays Xbox sometimes, but we are fucking PlayStation people.
100%.
Sometimes PC.
Well, he's PC. I've never really been. I'm not willing to drop the fucking expense to get
But
PC.
now that he's used the paddles and the joystick extenders, go ahead.
Yeah, I can't not use them, and it just the controller feels so naked when I don't have it.
It's so naked. I have to go one step further. I have the paddles and the stick extenders, but I have to use grips too because my hands sweat so bad.
See, and I have notoriously dry hands, and that's the thing, because you'll also remember, you know how you were just saying with Fortnite, it pissed me off, and I said I'd never play the game again.
Yeah.
So that was because I could never seem to get good at the game. Every time I tried to fucking play the game, I get roasted by these fucking 15-year-old kids somehow that were able to just build better than me. It pissed me off. So inherently, I swore off the game forever. Well, needless to say, Apex did the same thing to me. I played the game in Season 1 and Season 0, and I didn't even make it halfway through Season 1 before I said, fuck this game. And I said I would never play it again. And luckily, Kevin was able to convince me to re-download it. And when I re-downloaded it, and I had the paddles at that point, man, I was starting to just roast fuckers. And once I started just roasting those fucking people, it just, I don't know, I fell in love with the game. Now, I guarantee, like what you're saying, if I downloaded Fortnite and hopped on there, I probably would get good at the game if I just devoted to it. My problem is that it's been so long, and
the game is completely different.
Yeah, the game isn't even the fucking
it's
same
so
anymore.
Different.
And I don't like that. And that's another reason, like take Call of Duty 4 Remastered, for example. When that came out, I was like, oh my god, it's just like it was back in 2007. This is great. This is
it's a game I know how to play.
This is straight fucking nostalgia right here. It's just better. And now, if you try to get on that fucking game, it's littered with microtransactions, all these fucking weird guns I've never even heard of, all these fucking pay-to-win camos and pay-to-win guns. And
well, not so much pay-to-win, but yeah, pay-to-earn.
Pay-to-earn, I guess. Yeah. So it's just riddled with microtransactions, and the game is literally unrecognizable. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I'm the kind of person where I'm not opposed to change. I just don't like when things drastically change when I'm not around. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm playing the game every day and then they decide to spice it up, switch things around, I'm okay with that because I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll just adapt to the changes. Now, it's completely different when I play the game for X amount of time, get used to how it is, get off the game for 6 months, 12 months even, and then I get back on the game and it's literally completely different.
Yeah.
And
it changes when you don't know it's going to change and you have no way to adapt to it.
And I'm like, oh my fucking god!
It's going to take me 6 hours just to adapt to this shit.
Yeah, and I don't have the fucking patience for that. Yeah. So then it turns me off of a lot of games. Like I said, Call of Duty 4 Remastered, Fortnite. I have no desire to get back on that game and even try to learn.
We're going to have to pause for just a minute so I can take care of a technical difficulty. We will be right back.
Big bet.
So, all right, we are back.
Okay. Yeah. We're back after some
technical difficulties. Yep.
Wow, we should kiss. So I'm not a fan of big change in those games, and that's, I guess that's part on me. I don't know.
No, I don't disagree with that. The only problem is with Fortnite is when it came out as early access.
Yeah.
So like it's been early access for so long that if you don't like big change, well, they don't give a shit.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Until they say, hey, this game's fully released, they can do whatever they want. They could change the game completely tomorrow. They probably won't. But yeah, that's why they've been adding all this new shit, you know? And like, I totally get it though. That's why I stopped playing. I've spent $300 on Fortnite, you know, when it was really popular. I was buying all the skins and everything, buying the battle passes and shit. Probably getting 3/4 of the way through most of them and not finishing them, wasting my $10, you know. But I can't really play it because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing when I land. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The whole building mechanic, I don't like it.
Some people are so fast at it,
and that's why it's like that with Apex. You know, you can watch some people online on Apex, and these guys are literally fucking gods at this fucking game, and somehow, you know, they're just roasting people.
You're roasting,
and it fucking sucks, you know. It because I watch them and I'm like, how in the fuck do you do what you're doing? And the worst part is like they're like, man, I'm so good, I get bored. You know, I don't want to be an Apex Predator. You know, I don't want to be an Apex Predator anymore. The grind is it's just exhausting.
It's too much, bro.
Yeah, like, I'm tired of dropping in and winning every game. Or they're like, oh man, all of my best friends are the other Predators. So every game I drop in, I'm only fighting my friends. You know, and I'm like, fuck you.
Like, fuck you, dude. Shut up.
You know how much I'd love to be a fucking master? Not even Predator. Fuck Predator. I just want to be a master. Hell, put me in Diamond. Well, I am a Diamond, but put me in fucking Master, dude.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't have to. Anybody who's listening to this that's played Apex knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
The whole 3 people.
All of them. 3 people collectively. And hopefully one of those 3 people plays fucking Apex.
Hopefully there's more than 3 of you listening.
Well, you know, time will tell.
Yeah. We're not live, so, you know, at no point in any given time are 3 people going to be watching this at one point.
No,
or at the same time. So.
No, I mean, given at some point in time I'd like us to stream. A little bit,
I mean,
you know?
I'm down for that. Tyler's been doing that, and speaking of Tyler's going to be our guest on our next episode. Hopefully next week.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully next week that'll happen, as long as everything gets cleared with our technical difficulties, because we are having problems with our third microphone for some reason.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he was here. You guys just missed him, and so yeah, it's just me and him, because he decided to go ahead and bug on out of here.
Yeah, he has stuff to do today. Making, what was it, white chicken chili?
White chicken chili.
Chicken chili.
Yeah, like I was telling him, white chicken chili, great dish. Not something you have all the time, though. It's one of those kind of things where you can have it once a year, maybe even twice a year if you're feeling frisky. But when you do have it, you're like, God damn, it's so good.
I have no idea. I'm a cook, and I don't even know what white chicken chili is.
It's just a little bit different. I couldn't tell you how to make it. But when you have it, it's really good. But the problem is like I said, you wouldn't have it 5 times a year, or even you really 2 times a year is almost kind of pushing it. You know, once every 6 months, you could probably comfortably get away with it.
Why?
Because it's so intense, and when you start eating it, you're like, damn, it's so good. But it's almost like by the time I get done with my first bowl, if that's my only bowl, I don't want it anymore. Yeah, and I might still be hungry a few hours later, and I was enjoying the fuck out of the bowl that I was eating. And then it's like I get right to the end, and I'm like, wow, it's not that I'm full, it's that I'm done with this. It's almost like drinking your fucking Angry Orchards. They taste so good.
So good.
But I get like to the bottom of my first one, and I'm like, I don't want this anymore.
See, you're fucking insane. I can drink fucking 8 of these and then still drink more.
See, but my problem is just the fucking sugar in it, dude. I can't deal with how fucking sweet it is.
Sugar.
It piles in my fucking stomach, and it goes nowhere.
You have to build up like a resistance to it almost. Otherwise, you're going to like make yourself sick every time you drink them.
And to me, the thought of building a resistance to massive amounts of sugar doesn't sound like something I want to do.
Hey, man, you want to build a resistance to fucking anything, because anything can kill you.
Not if you don't have it.
No, I mean literally anything can kill you personally.
Well, fair enough. Okay, so you know, I'm somewhat fragile. Okay,
your body's not fragile, but your insides are. Well, and yours in particular are incredibly fragile.
Well, just my heart. Really, it's just my heart.
I would say it's your everything.
No,
because your heart controls everything.
Okay, yes, but here's the thing. If someone punches me in my fucking liver, my liver's not going to fail any more so than anybody else's. But if you punch me in the heart, okay, first off, you might see it after you punch it, because the scar is still fucking there. And there's still just some fucking wire holding the shit closed. So you might punch the actual heart itself, which would be impressive that in of itself. And on top of that, you might punch my heart and then my liver fails because you punched my heart.
Because for some reason, my gastrointestine is not work properly.
Yeah, we got our set of problems. I've definitely had my fair share of surgeries.
To say the least, we aren't getting in fights anytime soon.
Fuck no. I mean, granted, I will fuck someone up if I have to.
I probably won't. I'd probably run away.
My thought process is that, say I get into a fight, okay? So say me and you about to fist fight, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass.
But you're really scrawny now, so and I'm bigger than you, so I'm not that threatened by you right now.
Size means nothing.
Size means nothing, but at the same time, your size has always been an advantage to you.
You know who could fucking break you?
Your dad?
Kevin.
Oh, no, that's not even a question. Of course Kevin can.
Kevin can snap you in half.
Yeah, of course Kevin can. By the way, shout out to Kevin. Kevin, I hope you're listening to this overseas, wherever the fuck you are, or base camp, wherever the fuck you are.
I don't think he's going to be listening, but either way,
you have to send him a link.
Kevin,
but anyways.
I love you, Kevin.
I love you, Kevin.
Anyway, we'll get into that in just a second. But say we're fist fighting, and I tell you, hey, you dirty piece of shit, punch me. Well, what happens is that you punch me. Okay, so wow, you just socked me right in the face. So then what I do, I take my shirt off. All right, hear me out here.
You gonna punch a guy with a heart condition?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you see this fucking scar? You're an asshole. Punching me is like the same. No, I'm not even gonna go there.
It's not like punching a guy with glasses. I wear glasses. I'm just not wearing them now.
I was gonna say a woman.
Oh, okay.
Because look at my hair.
Well, yeah, that is the same.
If you look at me from behind, and I got some really tight-ass jeans on, you could easily mistake me for a woman. And if you punch me, I'm just going to say that I identify as a woman, because that's how it works, right? I can just say
that's just how it works, right?
That's how it works, right? I mean,
I think with how outrageous it's gotten, with the types of names people want us to use, it's a little ridiculous. But if you're a man and you identify as a woman, well, then you can call yourself a woman, but don't expect me to call you, or don't expect me on first glance to call you a woman, because that's not going to happen.
Don't vilify me because, you know what?
Because I don't know who you are, personally.
What? I have long hair.
And I have long hair as well.
And that's a personal choice, okay?
Very.
I think I look good with long hair, okay? And that's just my opinion.
You
guys can. Thank you. But
we're not gay, by the way, but I will rub all up on this handsome man.
Here's my thing, first and foremost. I am comfortable with my sexuality.
Same.
I'm not going to tongue punch his fart box, if that's what you're thinking, but I am, if he touches me, I'm not going to be like, whoa.
Whoa, what the fuck, faggot?
But what I'm saying is that, I get mistaken for a woman. Quite often.
So do I.
When I'm turned
I
around.
sound like a woman. I probably sound like a fucking woman right now.
Maybe. Perhaps.
Probably.
But the thing is, though, is that I get mistaken for a woman all the time. And you know what? I don't throw a fucking temper tantrum if somebody says ma'am and I turn around and obviously I'm a fucking guy.
I've been called ma'am on the phone at least 30 times in the last couple of months.
See, and like I said, I'm not the kind of person where I'm going to get fucking pissed about that. Yes. So if you're a grown-ass fucking man and you haul yourself into the fucking women's restroom, okay? There's got, little girls.
Yeah, that's not okay.
That's not fucking cool, man.
It's not okay.
It's not okay, and I'm never going to be okay with it. I don't care if you're like, I'm a woman. It means nothing to me. If you walk up to me and go like, hi, my name's Candace.
No, it's not.
No, your name is John. You what the, like, fuck you. I'm going to kick your ass, It's just one of those kind of things where, look, I understand if you're making a transition, and I get that.
That's fine.
But until you make the 100% transition,
until
use the goddamn men's room.
Yep.
Just don't be a fucking weirdo.
Don't be a weirdo.
Here's my thing. I was raised with the philosophy of, do whatever you want to do.
There's rules.
Well, there's
common courtesy rules.
It's not necessarily a societal norm or anything like that, but it's I guess you could say it's just called common fucking courtesy.
Really?
When you look at somebody and you do these kinds of things, look, if you're a 45, 50-year-old man with a fucking big ass beard and you're like, I'm a woman. Okay, fair enough. Okay, sure. Whatever you want to do, man. Just don't be fucking weird about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you walk up to me and say, I'm a woman, and I go, oh, because you look like a guy, and then you want to fucking fist fight me in the parking lot,
you're a man.
You're a fucking dude.
Yeah, you're a man.
And not only that, and maybe not necessarily you're a dude, but like, why you got to be fucking weird about it? You know, like it's like one of those kind. I'm never gonna sit there and call you out. I'm not the kind of guy where if I see a guy and I go, hello, sir, and they go, actually, it's ma'am, and I go, and I'm not gonna be like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm gonna be like, all right, ma'am, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh, my mistake. I'm sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Because guess what? It's called being fucking polite.
That's really all it is.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you qualify yourself as. If I don't know you, don't get mad at me for not calling you the right name.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of these fucking issues come from, is that people get so fucking triggered over these little misconceptions and these things, and that's what turns people to vilify certain groups of people. Like a lot of people will hate people that say, like, oh, I'm a man, but, I'm actually a fucking woman. Or I'm a woman, but, 50, and I'm a guy. I've had a dick between my legs for this entire time. Those are the kind of people, they instantly get hated, and it instantly vilifies an entire group of people because there's a couple of people in there that are fucking stupid.
Yep.
It's like men. Women will swear off of men and say that men are terrible and that there's male privilege because there's a handful of fucking dudes out there that rub the shit in everyone's face.
Now, that's a mildly different situation because there's a larger amount than a handful that are out there just raping everything they see.
Okay, so handful is the wrong word. But it's not all of us.
It's not all of us. No, like
Correct.
you and I are not pieces of shit. We're not out there raping everything we see. We have girlfriends that we've had for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've ever met a man that would ever exude that to me.
I've met a man that definitely gave me rapey vibes.
Okay, but so fair enough.
Not towards me, but just in general.
Fair enough.
I've met people like that. They're crazy.
That's fine. That's fine. You have one.
But vibes are not fact.
But think about it too. In the course of your entire life, you met one guy who maybe kind of gave you a slightly rapey vibe.
More than one. That's just an example.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. But the point is that I've gone my entire life and I haven't really ever encountered that.
That's also because of where we live and where you've grown up. We've grown up in different areas, you know?
True.
So, like, I've seen a lot weirder shit than you probably have because you've kind of grown up in the suburbs. I've kind of grown up in the city partially and then in the, like, the fucking
ghetto?
Middle of nowhere, I would say. I would never say I grew up in the ghetto because there's lots of people that grow up in, like, far worse conditions than I did. I moved, but I lived in a city for a while in a bad area, and then I lived in, like, the country in a bad area for a while. A lot of meth addicts, you know? But regardless of that, like, I've seen a lot of weird shit, you know? I've seen a lot of freaky-ass people, enough to know that there's a lot of grown men and people our own age, like guys our own age, that are willing to do really fucked up shit, you know?
Yeah, and there's never going to be a shortage of people who are willing to do some fucked up stuff.
No, there's not. They're always going to be out there.
Yeah.
But the thing is don't call all of us pieces of shit and, you know, monsters.
Here's the thing. There are women out there that I fucking despise. That if you couldn't put me in the same fucking state as that person without me at least gagging just a tad. Yeah. Okay? But I don't hate women.
No.
I love women.
Yeah.
You know what? I love my girlfriend.
Yeah. I love my girlfriend.
I love women. And I'm sorry, but because there's a couple women out there that literally repulse me to my core.
Doesn't mean I fucking hate
Guess
women.
what? There's a couple guys out there that repulse me to my fucking core.
There's a lot of guys that repulse me.
There's a lot of guys that fucking piss me off, that just the sight of them would just irritate me.
Oh, yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a guy or it's a woman. It's just like, what are you saying? What are you doing? I base my opinions of people off of their actions, not off of anything else. You know, if I take a look at you, I don't make any pre-snap judgments. I don't automatically hate you because
I'm not going to look at a guy and just immediately assume, hey, that guy's probably a woman.
Yeah, or I'm not going to look at you specifically and say like, oh, that douche with a red beard and blonde hair. What a fucking loser.
Yeah.
I should kick his ass. Now, if you walk up to me and call me a piece of shit and then punch me,
then all those judgments are correct.
Then there we go right there. It's immediately going to pop into my head, wow, ginger beard, blonde fucking bitch, and I'm going to want to kick your ass. But it has nothing to do, I didn't want to kick your ass because you're blonde and have a fucking red beard. I want to kick your ass because you're a dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
You said some dumb shit
There's
to
a
me.
reason behind it.
Yes, you did something.
Yes.
You know, or I see you, like, say you're talking to your girlfriend, and of course Rodney would never do this, but say you're talking to your girlfriend and then you slap the shit out of her right in front of me. Well, I'm going to want to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Now I don't give a shit. You know, I mean, I like your girlfriend, but I wouldn't
It's
necessarily
not
say
about her.
It's not about her.
It's about the fact that I smacked a woman.
Right. Your fucking actions just warranted you get a fucking beat down.
Exactly. And that's how it's supposed to be.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You judge a person based on their actions, not exactly based on who or any other factors.
Not your
in their
judgments.
lives.
You don't base them on the judgments. You base them on their actions.
Yes, exactly. 100%. You never classify anybody based on anything other than that. I mean, you know, and this is not something that I necessarily have. I abide by because thankfully I've never been in this situation.
Yeah.
But something that I grew up with, like in my family, was always don't hit a woman, but if she closes her fist and hits you, she just grew a dick and balls and it's on.
Yeah. See, I don't do that.
And fortunately for me, I was smarter than that.
We are from the South.
Yes. And another fortunate situation about that too is luckily I've never been in a situation where a woman has felt the need to ball up her fist and sock me in the fucking head.
Yeah, exactly.
Or really punch me in general. And of course, even in the worst part is, I wouldn't even say the worst part. I would never even have the gut reaction to punch back. It would just be like I got punched, and it would there would be that jolt of like a what the fuck. But at the same time, I don't think I'd feel the need to just fucking wail on him.
I would definitely punch a wall, but I definitely wouldn't hit the person.
Or I would just start yelling. Or I would get angry. You know, I would maybe verbally
it's
get
hard
aggressive.
to say exactly what you do when you've never been in the situation.
Right. And of course, I'm just taking educated guesses here. But, I mean, like I said, my gut reaction is never to hit someone.
Yeah, we're decent people.
Like
we're
that.
not just going to fucking... Like, even if it's a man, in my personal opinion, because I've been hit in the fucking face before several times. And in my personal opinion, even if you get hit in the face, I don't hit back. Because, well... I don't actually know why in the scenario in two of the scenarios that I bring up, but actually I do kind of know why. So when in the past, I had some dumbass bullies in high school fucking with me and trying to, they were being assholes, and this one dude came up and hit me in the face, and like it wasn't that hard or anything like that, but I just took it.
It was a loose punch.
Yeah, and then he did it again, and then a friend of his told him to do it again, and he went to, but then he stopped and laughed or whatever and walked away. The reason why I didn't hit back is because the kid, for one, was an idiot. Two, wasn't hitting me that hard, and three, I know that if I would have hit back, it would have been a much worse situation than if I had just sat there and taken it and let him walk the fuck away and think that I wasn't even worth his time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he never fucked with me again. Because I didn't warrant any situation out of that. And then in the second experience that I can think of, I was defending a very good friend of mine who is sitting next to me at the fucking moment.
Oh,
and
fucking God.
I was just standing up for what's right, and bullying is wrong, and that was a situation that was happening with Ryan and I in high school, and I was standing up for him, and I took the punch because I know that the kid that was fighting me was much worse off than I was. His family...
He had a lot of mental problems.
He had a lot of mental issues and a lot of family problems. His family didn't really care about him. They only cared about him when he fought people. When he went out there and showed that he was the toughest fucking person out there. So I let him be that toughest person. I didn't fight back. And now obviously in the moment I was scared and I ran away, but at the same time, if I had fought back, I probably could have won. Maybe not. Who knows? But I do know that fighting back was the wrong thing to do in the situation.
Oh, 100%. That situation would have been...
It would have been much worse.
1,000 times worse for both of you had you actually fought back. And again...
That's not to say I've never fought anybody and won.
And I'm still thankful for that. Again, so like I said, me and Rodney have our fair share of issues that we deal with. Well, one of my issues that I used to deal with a lot is I was really insecure. Like I said, I lost a bunch of weight recently, but I used to be a hefty fucker, and I was very insecure about my weight, and people knew that, and it was an easy trigger.
Yeah,
I guess you could say.
Yeah,
and this guy, he wasn't, he wasn't a little guy either. He's
definitely a lot bigger than me. I was the little guy in the situation.
He was a big guy, and I don't know. He had a lot of stuff, and I think he just took pleasure in fucking with people, and he was just fucking with me, and fortunately that was back, before I would actually have the nerve to stand up for myself. And of course, one thing to take from what we're saying in this situation is not that necessarily it's not good to stand up for yourself.
No, it's definitely good to stand up for yourself. You just have to know when. You
have to stand up for yourself, because in those situations, like they always say, if you don't stand up for yourself, it'll just keep happening.
Not only that, but if you don't stand up for yourself, there's nobody else that'll do it for you. It's not like the movies.
Yeah.
There's not somebody that's going to step out of the crowd and be like, I'll take your place. Like, I volunteer as tribute, any of that shit. None of that shit's going to happen, okay? So,
right.
there are times where you have to stand up for yourself, but there are also times where it's just not... It's not the right move.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be judgments, but the thing is, though, is that there's a big difference between standing up for yourself and letting it happen and not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. you don't necessarily have to stand up and tell the bully, I'm going to kick your ass. That does not mean you're standing up for yourself.
No.
Standing up for yourself could mean telling somebody.
Yep.
Bringing it to somebody's attention, going to one of your parents, going to one of your elders. Yeah, it sounds like a bitch move. It sounds like you're fucking snitching, but you know what? You're doing something about it. And that's the thing. Doing something about it is standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Because letting it happen, that's what's just going to lead to it happening more and more and more.
Not only that, but if you do want to be the person that stands up for somebody else who's being bullied or anything like that, and like I'm directing this at high schoolers. I'm not really directing this at little kids, but like if you do want to be that person, then you don't have to, like he said, you don't have to be the guy that stands up and is like, I'm gonna kick your ass. You just have to be the guy that stands in the way of him getting what he wants, with the bully getting what they want, because that's if you do that, then you've at the very least you've taken the attention off the person who's being bullied and you've put the attention on you. And if you don't aggravate that situation any further, if it's too much, if it's a really bad situation, and you know that if you follow through with everything that is set forth in front of you with the bully, then it would be a lot worse. Then it's best for you not to push it further. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it was a dumb situation, but my point of everything was that it's just not, you have to know when to stand up for yourself, for one, and two, sometimes you have to take a punch. Sometimes you have to take a punch and run the fuck away. I will tell you right now, I've never jumped higher than I did that day. I jumped over a 6-foot tree. It was a baby fucking, what are they called? Pine tree. It was a baby pine tree, and I jumped over it.
You forgot the name of a pine tree?
Yeah, I did forget the name of a pine tree. I vaulted over it like it was nothing because of all the adrenaline flowing through my body from that punch. But you just got to know when to fight back.
Right. And you know, it's just, it's an important thing. Now I know, you know, the whole gear of this podcast was you know, video games and
comedy, and here we get into some stupid,
we're getting into some
serious shit,
some serious bullshit. So just to kind of, you know, change tunes for a little bit. So like I said, me and Rodney, we really like playing video games, and we have a tradition that we've been doing since freshman year,
since we met each other.
Yeah, well, we met each other in middle school, but we really didn't start hanging out and doing this shit until
since high school, freshman year.
So freshman year of high school, you know, it all started with fucking Amnesia.
Amnesia and the Dark Descent.
Amnesia the Dark Descent. So I am notoriously what is called a pussy when it comes to horror games. But the problem is that I love the thrill of horror games.
We both do.
I've never been one to be bold enough to play them. And with that being said, Rodney is a kind of person where he'll just tough it out and play through it, but also he is more terrified than I am.
Yeah, I like pee my pants sometimes.
Right. So we have a little tradition where we go and we try to find, you know, unique horror games, and we sit here. Rodney's usually the one behind the controller, and I'm usually the one sitting here giving him motivational support, and
instructions, motivations,
looking stuff
I'm a
up.
completionist, so like I have him look shit up to be able to guide us where we're supposed to be going, and then he also, if there's any decisions that need to be made, I always consult him, because we're a team when we do it, because I literally cannot play these games by myself without somebody guiding the way.
Right.
He's my light in the dark.
So and on top of that, basically the point I'm trying to get at is we do plan on posting those videos on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
It'll be the same as the name of the podcast, which is Vandybeck Prophecy.
The Vandybeck Prophecy.
Vandybeck Prophecy. That's VANDYBECK.
Prophecy.
I'm not spelling that shit.
Yep.
But basically, we'll have that up on our YouTube channel as well as doing our podcast. Our podcast is more for me and him to just kind of ramble on about the shit that we deal with in our lives.
Talk about stupid shit.
Yeah, just talk about stupid shit. And the YouTube channel is going to be more or less based around me and him
playing video games. Yep.
Now, not every single time are we going to be uploading games, like horror games, in that
the
same
podcast will be uploaded to our YouTube channel as well, so you'll be able to catch up on
part of the reason why we're
the video
taking
podcast.
Videos.
Yep.
Right. And that's the thing. We're not also. It's not going to be only horror games on there. You know,
all kinds of games.
We do believe in diversity, you know, when it comes to the type of content that we have. We don't want it to just be a shitload of horror games because that gets boring at some point. Plus, we're gonna run out of fucking games.
Yeah,
and
we've already played a large amount of games that are already out there. So like doing a replay of them would not be much for entertainment.
And the problem is that shit, we've played like 90% of them.
Yeah, literally. So we just have to wait for new ones to come out.
Yeah, and so to kind of go back to that, we're going to have a little more, we're going to have diversity on there. So sometimes it'll be clips. So again, as you guys know already, if you've been listening to the podcast thus far, I'm very big into Apex. And I also am very big into strategy games. So I play those a lot. So a lot of times, you know, whenever we're recording something, some of our videos might be me playing Apex.
Yep.
Because I am very good at it.
Our channel is going to be a diversity of me, Ryan, my friend Jacob, my friend Tyler, a couple of our friends. It's just a bunch of clips of all of us from a bunch of different games, sometimes together, sometimes not. It's basically like a central hub for all of us to upload our content to.
Yeah. And I mean, 90% of them will be the horror games, me and Rodney talking.
Yes, correct.
It'll be like, you know, videos of me and Rodney playing games online.
Sometimes
you know,
my friend's music.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
You know, but occasionally we will drop compilation videos of those little clips from guys like Tyler and Jacob, me and Rodney just playing games with music in the background. And we also, whenever we put music in our videos, we're always going to be using... We're not going to be using like popular, I guess you could say, songs.
Yeah, no, they're going to be uncopyrighted music. It's going to be
homemade music from friends,
basically,
that are very good at what they do, and they need as much recognition as possible because what they do is impressive.
Yes.
I've always wished that I could, you know, I dabble in percussion.
They are very good, and they would love to have your support when we do those types of videos. So the links for to go see their music and everything will be in descriptions of videos when we make them.
And that's the thing, you know. I dabble in music myself. I love percussion. I've been playing.
We were both in band for a very long time. He was in percussion. I was a trumpet player.
I've been playing behind a set since I was 7 years old.
Yep.
And I love playing drums. Now I've gotten away from it in the recent years just because of there's no fucking time.
Yep.
And but I still love playing. And also I've always wished that I was a good singer. But unfortunately
you were both kind of tone deaf to some degree.
Well, here's the thing. I got good rhythm, but yeah, tone deaf 100%. I crank the volume in my car through the roof so I can sing because then I sound just like the artist. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, so that's essentially just kind of giving you guys a little breakdown of what's to come. You know, we're going to try to upload videos as much as possible, at least while we're getting started. Things might be a little sporadic, a little infrequent maybe.
Yeah, in particular...
You might see one video come out this week, and then next week you might see 3 videos, and then it might be 2 weeks, and you get 2 videos.
It just all depends on content.
I'm just saying, when it comes right down to it, we do have very busy schedules, and it's hard to find time where both me and him can sit down and find a game that's interesting that we can also play together for a certain amount of time, and on top of that, get good content that's worth posting, because we're not going to post every fucking thing we do, because what's the point of that?
Yeah.
You know, we're only going to post the good stuff because you guys deserve the good stuff. And when that happens, though, there's sometimes going to be some sudden breaks and pauses in between videos and things like that. Now, the podcast should be on a weekly basis.
Yes, as consistent as we can do it, we will be doing the podcast every week.
The podcast should not change.
Should be every Tuesday.
Well, maybe not. Like, we record on Tuesdays.
They'll probably be uploaded on Wednesdays, but should be every Wednesday.
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah, give or take.
Maybe Tuesday night if you're around at 12 o'clock. Tuesday night.
You know, we record this on Tuesday evenings, so usually we're not done until around 9 ish most of the time. Because believe it or not, okay, so this is our first episode doing this, but this is not our first time recording a podcast.
No,
we have had numerous dummy practice sessions where we've sat down and just recorded us talking and bantering for hours. And
tried to make everything perfect so that way when we finally uploaded something, it wasn't stupid.
And hey, you know what? If you guys end up actually liking the podcast and we get a couple weeks in,
show your support by
show the support, and you know, maybe you guys will get lucky and we'll post a couple snippets from the shit that we recorded while we were in our practice sessions, because we've been practicing now for a couple months. And that's also part in just getting.
I've also
the equipment
invested
together.
quite a bit of.
Let's not talk about money, Rodney.
We both have invested a bit of our time. If you would let me finish.
Shut your mouth.
Into trying to perfect this to the best of our abilities. We're both very new to this, and we just hope that you guys enjoy everything that you hear.
Yeah,
but before we close, I want to say, real quick, that we are going to do a playthrough of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and that's going to be the very next video that gets uploaded to our channel on YouTube, the Vandybeck Prophecy. We're doing Bendy and the Ink Machine tonight. We're going to play through it as much as we can, and I am going to edit and upload as much as I can over the next day or two. So look out for that.
And something else to keep in mind too, just because we're going to be trying to get our names out there as much as possible, we are making several social media accounts.
Yep, Ryan's in charge of all of that.
Yeah. So essentially, if you want to get in contact with either one of us, you can contact us on there. Obviously, I'm going to be the one that's in charge of all that. So if you do send a direct message or something like that, it'll come to me first. But you can ultimately get in contact with both of us. Basically, just search our names, the name of the podcast.
The Vandybeck Prophecy.
Yep.
We're going to try and get that across every platform possible.
Yep, make it as easy as possible. And of course, on the next podcast, we will have the specific @, the specific tags. Because right now we're still trying to make all those accounts
get everything together and working properly.
Right. So
we're gonna try and get a Patreon started, as well as TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of it.
We're covering all
everything.
Yeah, we're covering
iFunny even. Fuck.
Hey, don't be shitting on iFunny.
I love iFunny.
I'm on iFunny literally every single day. Yeah, 100% every day. They got some good shit on there. But essentially, the point is not to flood you guys or to seem like we're trying super hard or anything like that. It's just we want to get started, and ultimately the goal of this is not so that way. We're not like most people out there where the ultimate goal is, I want to make a shitload of money.
No, we're just trying to be comedians. We just want to be funny. That's literally it.
Really, what it is just that we were sitting here one day and having this 2-hour long conversation like we normally do, just about random bullshit that was cracking us the fuck up, and we thought to ourselves, you know what? Maybe there are some people out there, not everybody.
Maybe someone wants to hear what we have to say.
Maybe there are some people out there that would have a good time listening to our conversations. And if we're wrong, then this will end very abruptly.
Yep.
And the only way that we'll know that is if we get the feedback. So we're always open to constructive criticism. So
yes, please fucking say whatever you want to say. I don't care.
Whatever you want to say. You can say
we probably won't read it anyways.
You can say Ryan looks like a stupid bitch. You can say Rodney looks like some ginger fag. You can also say that Ryan looks like a woman. Because here's the thing. There's nothing you can say to me that will offend me, or anything that you can say to me that I haven't heard someone say before. So
fag is a hurtful word. Don't say that to people.
So please have at it. Yeah, okay. And I was saying that as a derogatory term. I don't want you to say that to me, obviously. But the point is that we need constructive criticism, because the only way we are going to know we're doing something right or want to keep doing exactly what we're doing is we need to hear feedback, because
honest feedback.
We think what we're doing and what we're saying is working. And if it's not clicking, there's anything you could do. I mean, you could listen to 5 minutes of the podcast, get disgusted, and be like, fuck these guys, I never want to hear them again. Hey, tell me what it was in the first 5 minutes that made you say, fuck these guys.
But here's the thing. You got to listen all the way to the last 45 seconds just to be able to know. Actually, probably not 45 seconds, but you got to listen all the way to this point, probably an hour into this fucking podcast, just to know that we want your feedback. So please, come on.
Yeah, and that's
stay for the whole show.
And that's the thing. Stay for the entire thing. There's a reason we say this shit at the end.
I'm probably gonna put this at the beginning.
You should probably do that. But the point is that we need the constructive feedback.
Yes, very bad.
And it's important, because ultimately, again, we think what we're doing is working. We think what we're doing is good. But if we don't get any feedback, we're going to have to start changing up tactics. And if we don't get any feedback, or all the feedback we're getting, because here's the thing. The only reason this podcast will go away or our plans will cease is from a lack of feedback.
Yeah,
because here's the thing. It doesn't even matter. If we get a 0 out of 5-star review and we have 500 negative reviews, guess what? that just means now we have a baseline of how we can make it better.
Exactly.
As long as you guys are giving us that constructive criticism, we can do something better.
And we're fucking invested, too.
Exactly.
So this is going to happen.
So
it's going to happen whether you like it or not, so you better make sure that we do it the way you like it.
The only way this podcast or our dreams die is if we hear absolutely nothing.
Yep.
So again, we're going to have an Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
everything.
We're going to have pretty much everything. And again, on next week's podcast, we'll have specifics for what we do have. We'll have the exact handles for how to get to us, obviously, on our YouTube page when we post our first Let's Play, which is something that Rodney's going to talk about here in just a second. We're going to also have in the link in the description on those as well, our, Instagram, Twitter, things like that. We're going to have all the links and everything like that posted on there, so that way we can, get as much support and get as much feedback from you guys as possible. So yeah, Rodney, why don't you give them a little sneak peek of what's to come?
I'll do that as soon as I come back from the bathroom. I am dying. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, so basically, I already touched on it a minute ago because I didn't know that we were going to do this at the very end. So Bendy and the Ink Machine is a game that it's been out for a while now, so if you haven't heard of it, well, then you're probably not on the indie game scene. So I'm going to read you a direct, quote. What's the...
I guess you could say it's like a summary.
Summary, there it is. A direct summary from the website of joeydrewstudios.com. If you want to go check out the game, check it out from there. YouTube, Steam, whatever fucking platform you play it on, whatever you want to do. So basically, in the game, you play as Henry as he revisits the demons of his past by exploring the abandoned animator's workshop of Joey Drew Studios. With twists and turns at every corner, you never know who or what it is waiting for you in this dilapidated world of shadows and ink. Solve the riddle, escape the workshop, above all, fear the machine, and survive. So basically, in this game, it's a survival horror game. I don't know shit about it. I just have watched a couple videos on it, and it looks really scary and really fun to play. And it's right up Ryan and I's alley, and we're going to play it. And hopefully the next day or two, hopefully after this podcast comes out, not before, we'll have the playthrough up for Bendy and the Ink Machine on our YouTube channel of the same name.
And again, YouTube channel, Vandybeck Prophecy. That's exactly what our YouTube name is.
The Vandybeck Prophecy.
The Vandybeck Prophecy.
Yep.
It's VANDYBECK Prophecy. Again, not fucking spelling that. But that's how you're going to find us. And we're going to have this it's going to be in multiple parts, obviously, because I think this game is relatively long. So
a little long.
You guys are going to want to check that out. Hopefully we're posting this video after you guys are hearing the podcast, so that way you guys can go check it out. If you guys do happen to stumble across the video beforehand, we will mention the podcast in the video.
Yes.
So either way, you should be able to get directed right back to us. So that's pretty much all I got. Rodney, you got anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys very much for hanging out with us for the hour some odd. It's been great. I'm looking forward to starting this adventure, to getting to talk about bullshit all the time.
All the bullshit.
And so
that's it. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate anyone who stuck around till the end. Thank you all.
Have a good one.
See ya.